So speaking of mermaids.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Speaking of mermaids.
Do you want to start with the hot ones first?
Oh, no. We'll start with the trailer.
Okay.
We're going to shit on it
Let's
first.
start with the trailer.
Okay.
We're talking about the new movie that came out, I believe, what is it, May 29th, 2003, The Little Mermaid. I know it was a big controversial thing for them to have a
Black mermaid.
girl.
Hold on, I'm going to play the trailer real quick. I just want to get in this mindset real quick. Looks great, man.
It looks
CG.
great because they.
I was super excited for this movie.
I
For
wasn't.
sure.
I really did.
I wasn't
really
excited for
care.
this.
Little Mermaid. Look, Little Mermaid is one of my favorites. So they haven't done Aladdin yet. When they do Aladdin, I'm super excited for that as well. They did Aladdin. What am I saying? They did Aladdin. That was great. That was great too. The only thing with Aladdin, obviously, you couldn't have Williams do a genie again.
Right.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that they made the genie black though, because that plays into another
I wasn't
thing
mad
of
at Will
how
Smith at
we're
all.
supposed to be blue.
You back with that? We
Yeah,
blue.
I am.
She's like, we
How
back
we're
with-
supposed to be blue, and we actually have all these magical powers to grant people wishes and shit like that. I really feel like that's true.
That's true.
And the constraint of being in the genie bottle is just the constraint of how far you can take your own powers. You put constraints on how you see the world based on your own knowledge. That's what the genie lamp is representing. How much knowledge you have in order to grant whatever you want. It's a form of it's a metaphor on manifestation. The three wishes.
It's funny how it's 3 too,
Yeah.
right? It's that for a specific reason, right? Well then, how about the Little Mermaid, right? The actual movie itself. How do you feel about it?
I really didn't. I didn't. It's funny. I wouldn't say I didn't connect with the movie, not because it had nothing. I don't feel like it had anything to do with Halle at all. I feel like it had everything to do with the production of how it was put out, and I feel like it was very rushed. I feel like it was very, because it was a hype movie. People was looking for the movie so bad that they just said put it out because they knew that because of the controversy of it, her being black, her being, it being the Little Mermaid, the hair, that's her, a lot of things that was contributing to the movie that was very controversial.
It would have sold out eventually,
Right.
and they didn't put.
Right.
It was very half-assed.
Right.
They didn't put as much into it as they did Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin, those different type of movies. It was very rushed, and I felt like because the main character was black, it was so rushed.
Right.
They didn't put enough time and effort into really creating a homey type of movie that Ariel was
and
in the first
like
place.
I didn't get the structure of the movie at all. I'm like, okay, I get it. Like, all right. I didn't connect with the movie at all. I didn't really feel the...
But you feel like the original, you felt the connection.
Yeah. I felt, because, okay, here's how it starts. He does start in the boat, you know what I mean? But it's a thing of, all right, the person that he's with, you can tell that they had was it his butler, I believe?
Yeah.
You could tell that they had a connection. He's like, because he's sick at the shore. He's like, oh, you'll feel better. The shore is just great. And he's like, okay, Eric. And they're just, you could tell that they have a connection.
Right.
I didn't feel that with the butler that he had in the live action. I didn't feel that.
Okay.
And
I feel like they tried to say that. I feel like they tried to show they had a connection, but I see what you're saying. Like, you didn't feel
get that. I didn't feel that they had a
in the
connection.
original, was his parents even alive though?
No,
or was
his
it?
parents wasn't
Nah, his
alive.
No, his
parents
parents
weren't
weren't alive. Exactly, his parents were dead.
It was just him and the butler.
And then to make his mom black pissed me off because they should have
I don't know
made
why they did that.
they should have made Trident black.
Yeah. Why didn't they do that?
Instead of
he
That's why
making
I
him
voted.
seem.
black daughters, which was throwing me. I'm like, okay.
But they try to make Trident seem like a hoe, which he was not. He was so strict for the reason he chose one wife because that's who he chose.
Exactly.
And that's what made him great because he had one
this
decision.
Trident
Was a hoe.
Had a wife in each season.
It's like, no.
Bro.
Come on.
Okay.
Like, wow.
Please. Like, you
I
trying
guess
to
if you're the
push
king,
the limit.
you can have as
of
many wives as you want.
but that's what I'm
and
saying.
They're trying to be more realistic
No,
with it. But
I don't feel like it's that. They didn't want the main character to just be black. They had to implement all the entities into it instead of just making it a black movie because the director was white. Let's just keep it a stack. And that's why also too a lot of people just watched it because she was black. There was no connection to it.
So y'all think if they went more like how they actually did the Black Panther and they just went all into it?
Yeah, just go on to it. But they don't want to.
Yeah,
They didn't want black. They didn't want black strong characters. That's why.
And
they had a
mostly who we have now, which I love.
Exactly. They black strong characters. Marvel went there.
Right,
Disney. I feel like Disney.
Right.
Want to go there. Disney doesn't want to be inclusive.
Right, exactly.
And that's why they choose half black characters, Zendaya, to do their TV shows and stuff like that. Because they're
remember,
still
Marvel's on the Disney too. Now.
They're still now because the guy died. So if he was still alive, if Stan was still alive, he wasn't going for none of that. Because he all his different type of stuff.
Yeah, Stan was definitely.
Yeah, he was a beast. He made Spider-Man black before it actually came to the thing. That was in the comics.
Wakanda had to be what it was because that's what he drew. They couldn't put nothing that man didn't draw. He drew a full black cast. Are you kidding me?
And where do you think that came from? He had to see that. And going back to the rocks that you were talking about.
I don't know if he did. If he was the one who made Black Panther, but he did have a whole lineup of people. I don't remember if he did Miles Morales as well. He might have. We should probably look that up before. But keep talking, sir.
Yeah.
I personally also feel like they picked her because she can sing, which is beautiful, like, you know what I mean? But I wish that she would have took on the role. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I wish she would have been like, no, I don't want my hair to be this. I want it to be the original. My skin is capable of that. I can do that. This is I'm a black girl, you know what I mean? And a whole bunch of black girls can attest to that because a whole bunch of black girls does red hair. We do deep red hair. We do bright red hair. We do different color hairs. I feel like she could have pulled it off. I feel like it would have been way more.
Yeah, I feel like they tried to whiten the character even though she was black. Because even her, like you were saying earlier, even her skin is pale because the color of her hair was so dried out. It wasn't really red. It didn't really pop. Ariel's hair was red because her tail was blue. Those two colors inside with each other to make her skin pop and her eye color pop as well.
Exactly.
Yeah, so Stan Lee definitely did Black Panther with Jack Kirby. So
yeah, exactly.
No reason.
There's absolutely no reason.
Right.
I feel like it was
they could have really took it there and create something beautiful instead of it being rushed. The Lion King is a very good attest to that. They couldn't rush that. You couldn't look Beyonce in her face and tell her that she's gonna be Nala and she's gonna do the role half-assed even though it was animated.
Yep.
Like, we need to put in more effort, especially when it comes to black people. I feel like it's always mediocre, and people just accept that because it's a black character, and they're very afraid to talk about the controversy behind something being mediocre.
And I also feel like they would say, well, at least that she got the role.
Like, come on, let's cut that. It's not at least she got the role.
Exactly.
It's not that anymore.
Exactly.
We're not in slavery times.
Right.
At least she got to be in the play. Like, no, let's cut that.
Is she on the bus, right?
Exactly. Like, no. Because I guarantee you, they put her. They're not going to make another black girl something else.
Yeah, I really didn't connect with that movie at all. Like, I didn't. The crying, everything just seems very.
One of the best characters was Scuttle and Ursula. And they're Ursula is white and Scuttle is that Asian girl.
Yeah.
I loved her voice for Scuttle. That was your inclusivity because the girl
Scuttle,
is Asian.
Scuttle was awesome. I love Scuttle.
Yeah,
Scuttle was great. The Scuttlebutt rap was one of my favorites.
Yeah.
I actually didn't know Scuttlebutt even meant what it meant. I had to look it up, and I was like, oh, that it means exactly what you're saying. I didn't know that. Interesting.
But yeah, it was mediocre at best.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I agree. And my opinion, by the way, not as good as the animated version. It's hard to pull that off. But in my opinion, it's not that hard to pull that off. The reason why the animated version is better is story. In my opinion, I like what they were trying to do, but I don't feel like they stuck the landing. And I do feel like they put people in situations that they shouldn't have been in, just to give other people praise.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, Little Mermaid was a girl who was going into a world that she did not know, and that in itself showed us how brave she was.
Yeah.
She did not also have to be the one to kill Ursula.
Yeah.
I feel like, and I brought this up already, but I feel like him not being the one to drive that ship, just because she saw it the one time, guys, you know how hard it is to, I mean, maybe it's easy, just, and stare, but why switch that?
Eric
Why
was a
give that
good
to her?
sailor. Eric was a good sailor. That's why he was
That was
always
his
in the
whole-
sea.
that
That was
his
the
whole
backstory.
point. That was the whole point of that dude, right? He was a good sailor, and she admired him because of that.
Right, exactly.
Right? You're out here with me all the time.
And he
Every time
admired
she's
Ariel
out-
because she was innocent. That was what the whole
She
takeaway
was
with that is
innocent,
that
but he can tell that she was brave.
still
because,
knowledgeable because she
right,
wanted to know.
She wanted to know, right?